Alright, we got another box. I love these peekaboo boxes, though I don't like the construction. This is the second box where it's falling apart. This time it was at the bank. They said that they had taped it up right there. So the teller. So I'm gonna go through a bunch of them. Let's see. 4, 5, 6. Might be a silver ender. Open that one first. There's 10. We're going through at least probably half the box. This one looks a little nope. We'll see what we can get, see if we can pull more silver. We got 3 40s for the year so far. We've been through, this will be box number 8, or no, box number 9. Again, look for any abnormalities. Anything out of the usual, NIFCs. Anything like that. Ooh, that thing darted out. Of course, we go through them one by one. Make sure there's no trick coins, any NIFCs that are going to pop out. Don't want to miss any of them. If there's a mule error, you won't see that just by looking down the side. It's like if this wasn't the double date. So that's why we do it. We're gonna get, like I said, get through as many as we can. Because why not? So we'll see how far along we get. 2,000. 85, 87 is an NIFC, which NIFC, not intended for circulation. After a certain year, they realized that nobody was carrying $half around, so they stopped. They did try to go with the dollar coins, kind of like Canada has with the $1 and $2, but the dollar coin is, or the $2 coin, I think, is the size of like our quarter. So they would have to drastically change. Now with the penny being out, we could transfer that to be the nickel and just size down everything. This could be like a $5 coin. Then people may go for it, but the way we're heading without any cash, so I still don't know that it would be that widely used to where it would be effective, because most people don't carry around cash anymore. Most people don't even carry around their credit card anymore. It's all on their phone. I see a lot of people tapping on their phone to pay nowadays. So carrying around the card is becoming obsolete, which is another division in what the financial people are saying with the psychology of spending money. You know, cash is the hardest thing to spend. And then after that, you know, in your brain, it becomes disassociated and stuff like that. So it's a little bit easier. So you take that another degree and you don't even show a card. You just tap your phone that you're always on. It's definitely disassociated. So 5 up, or 5 down. Got another round of 5. Real shiny 72. And of course, when I order these, I have no idea what I'll get. So kind of you get what you get kind of thing. I mean, I'm never going to decline the order. I don't want to put the bank in that situation of having to send it back, and I don't want to put myself in the situation of not being able to order. So, but again, no idea if silver's going to be here or not. Nobody knows till you open it. And these are bank rolled, so it's not like I went in and somebody just dropped off the halves. You know, they came from whatever site packages them. In this case, I don't even think they say Loomis anymore, or Brinks or anything like that. I just think they say $50. $50, yep. $10, $50. So we do the quick side glance, and we get right into it. Of course, we're looking for anything off, any mesh, any mule air, anything like that. If it doesn't have a mint mark and it's above 80, 1980. If it has the Independence Hall, but no do a date. $74. So just those quick checks. That's a 74. Of course, anything older than 1980, if it doesn't have a mint mark, it's Philadelphia. So you're only looking for 1980 and newer for those mint marks. Same with the bicentennial. All right, this is 10th one. $10 under 10. All right, we got 30 seconds to get through it. Then we can claim 10 under 10. But I did open up the box, so if I'm off by a few seconds, it's not bad. But there we go, 10 under 10. As we hit the 10-minute mark. 4, 5, 5. All right. Don't want to start the pile on some debris, and it's just going to tilt and collapse on me. So these are just quick checks, but I still want to do them. Still want to make sure I'm not leaving any kind of money on the table, per se. When it comes to proof, when it comes to NIFC, anything like that, or any visible known error. I just don't want to leave any money on the table. Whoop. Bound to happen. Reordered it a little bit, so whatever. I have to keep trucking along. There wasn't silver in it, so no need to go in depth. Now that one, 95. Those the real bright line are usually newer. 89. And anything 02 and newer is considered NIFC. They did change the design for the $50 this year. It's like a 250 years. So they did a unique design for the $50, just for this year. So kind of like the bicentennial, which they look pretty cool. So hopefully I find a couple or end up with them. So like I said, they did look pretty gnarly. And then if they keep producing them, they'll probably go back to the eagle design. Again, I don't know why they're still printing halves. They're not necessarily used like that anymore or at all. So, couldn't tell you. And it kind of looked foreign because it was thick, dark. But yeah, I don't know. Because they still make millions of them. And then I got, like I said, I got 2 boxes this last go around, and then I just placed an order to come in next week for another 2. So we are at the point where we can have 4 boxes out, which is huge. We started with little over 2 boxes in general to start this. Somebody just frown. So now that we're able to do double that is amazing. Thank you all to the supporters. Of course, I'm not monetized on YouTube. So it was just through eBay sales and things like that nature. But with this last push of the 2025s I did happen to list a bunch, undercut the market a little bit, and sold a bunch of rolls really quickly. To people that would like them. And that helped push me to being able to get the next round of boxes to get that 4th box. So what I think I'm going to do is what I just did this time, order 2 at a time, go back to that, but just order them more frequently. So like I had these 2 come in today, and then I told them next week I'll be ready for another 2. But of course I'm going to have these turned in. So by the time I get done the 3rd box, I'll be asking for another 2 probably. I don't know. It's going to be an ebb and flow, but somewhere into the 4th box, I'll be asking for another 2. Or, yeah. 3rd, 4th box. I haven't figured it out yet, but, you know, it's down the line problems. For now, it's just having fun hunting silver. And we're about to be 17 rolls in. Oh, that's 1920, so this is 18 rolls in. And we got a real thick. Why does it do it to me? It's a real thick edge. And of course, we're looking at the dates, make sure there's no 60s popping through. Anything 60s and older is silver. So I have had some 40% hide on me. So I do want to ensure that they're not hiding on me. You could say I'm a horrible hunter, but you know, either way, I try to make sure I get everything out that I can, that I want. All right, 20. Is this 20 under 20? 20 well under 20. All right, let's keep going. Let's see here. That's 20. That's 5. So 5 more would be half the box. Silver tanks some. That's already like went down what, 20 bucks, and that's people taking the profits, people selling, and then people panicking as it's going down because people sold. That's why I go for the hard asset. I go for the actual silver. You know, I don't need it right now. but it's never a bad thing to have. I haven't bought silver in a little bit. I usually put some money aside from, you know, whatever I sell on eBay to buy silver, but I haven't recently, just because I wanted to get to that 4th box. I saw it. I was about $100 away from it to be able to do it easily. I mean, so I was focusing on that. So I think I'm going to really get back into that too. We also had that big box last year where we pulled a bunch of 90%ers. Which well and made up for whatever I was going to buy. If you figure about every $1.40 is a troy ounce, and we pulled 60, so that means every 3, roughly, give or take, is a troy ounce. That was 10 troy ounces we pulled out of the boxes, which is amazing. So, okay. So I didn't have it planned to buy 10 ounces, so that well and made up for it. See, things like that, I just go ahead and put aside. I don't know why, but the color scheme always gets me. 92. Thought it was 99. It looks like we're finally getting into some of the newer coins for this roll, 2024, 2023, which has been interesting that we haven't seen in this box so far. So, and they're popping up now. 3, 3, 86, 2020. I think I need more 2020s. 2023. All right, so that was half of the box already done. Working on the next half. These aren't the tightest rolled ones, but haven't been any problems so far. 72. Yep. too. All right, let's see. Still looking for those 87s. They're bound to be here somewhere. I mean, they are in NIFC, not intended for circulation, so maybe not. It's just the coloration on like those half-tone ones really have me questioning if it's like an error of sorts. Sure, it is. How valuable of an error it is, couldn't tell you. Usually when I go to a coin show, which I try to do once a year, haven't been in a little bit, I'll go and take a couple things, try to talk to the people that grade coins, see where they're sitting at. Because they at least have a somewhat of an idea of what's moving, what's valuable. And you don't try to get a vendor trying to undersell it to you and just take it off your hands for a couple bucks when it's worth hundreds or anything like that. Not that any of my coins are, I think they said one of them with the mesh that I had showed them could go for a couple hundred, which was worth grading. I don't know that most of the other ones I have would be hundreds, but a couple bucks probably. But I don't know. I don't know officially, so. So we got what? 10 more in the box. So we're down to our last 20. And this box is gonna come short or come high with silver soon or later, or not at all. Oh, nose itched. So we're about 30 minutes in, and we're down to 15, 18 rolls. So we'll definitely get this done in under an hour, because we're well past the halfway mark. Some of those I'll look at under a microscope to see. There's additional like flaws or like pressed somewhere. That's usually what I look for when I scope out the meshes, see if it's like trailing anywhere else. So 15 left after this one. So like I said, we'll know in a few short rolls if we were going to find silver in this box or not. This one is post-stamped XB. Haven't seen that before. I don't think it's anything special. I think somebody just stamped it. 11/21. Which, I mean, that would be an interesting way of marking a coin. We've seen a lot of them. People marking coins. That would just be an interesting way. Then I will pick up the other box and open it at the end after I mark the tally and get rid of this box. Right, 12 left. And silver could be in the very last roll, so I never know. Aside from the box being taped on one side, you know. I'm just gonna go on a limb and say nobody knows. It'd be pretty I mean, they call me pretty soon after the rolls come in. Come get them, so. Pretty sure somebody taped that, but I'm gonna just take a double look. If you're not sure, it doesn't hurt to take a second and look. Because this one I think has it too. Just to be safe. If it is tape, I'll just peel it off and keep moving. But better be safe than sorry. So, excuse me. We're encroaching on a little over 35 minutes with only 10 left to do. So we're making fabulous time. Move that pin over there. Try to always have the coins visible on screen, even though it's just me down here right now hunting coins. Don't want anybody assuming I'm trying to switch rolls out or anything. So that's an interesting one. I don't have time for that. Especially when I keep putting coins aside to look under a microscope on. And just because I put it aside doesn't necessarily mean there's anything error-wise, but closer look never hurts. Real shiny. Then I also try to look at, like, for that one, is there anything that could have caused that to happen? Like the rings quarters get are from vending machines or like gumball machines and stuff like that. So I also think, like, is there anything that could have been something similar to that to cause an error? But of course, if you like this content, give me a like, give me a follow. I go through a lot of boxes. Trying to increase the number of boxes from last year to this year. I think last year was 33, about 3, or 36, about 3 a month. You know, I got the recordings done early. This will debut in March sometime. I'm still in February. And we got, what, 9 boxes completed, so. And not too bad for, you know, they're just starting to show up, the 2024s, of course. All right, so a couple more rolls left to see if we found silver, and we got 2 in here. All right, so we got 2. The rest are pretty shiny, but we got 2. All right. First one, 64. That's a 90. Where's my nice pen? Another 64. 2 90s. So I'm going to go through the rest. And that was hanging out with the 2025s. I did pretty well selling them. Maybe I'll sell them loose. So I mean, look at that. They were hanging out with Bryn. That's 23. Nobody cares about those. $84. So those are 25s. Had a bunch of rolls. But that's 2 90s. I mean, in a box that did not look like it was going to have it. It sprung to life right at the end. We got 4 rolls left after this. So like I said, you never know until the last roll. Let's see. That's 70. And then so I've said usually average is about 1 a box, I think, in previous years. So we are behind in the silver count for that, but you know, finding 2 in 1 box puts it ahead, or getting closer to the 1-to-1. So if we can find any more in the last 3 rolls, it would be doing even better. But I think it all comes down to the amount of rolls you go through, the amount of boxes you go through and dig through. And 1-to-1 is just over time, right? Like, not every box is going to have silver. Just on average. Over, what, 30 boxes I did the last 2 years. You do tend to find silver. So I'm gonna get those in my 90% capsules. And I'm happy to find some 90s. So we got on the board for 40s and 90s already. We got a long road ahead, so it's promising. I don't know on the top of my head how much silver is going for currently because it just fluctuated down, or how much they go for currently because it just fluctuated pretty big. It was at 100, and I think it touched 110, then it dropped to 80, so we're right in there. It's holding currently, but we'll see. Still think there's going to be a climb, but maybe that's just optimism, since I'm doing this as a hobby and trying to find silver. So maybe I'm more optimistic. All right. As promised, next box. Oop. So that's weird. Got one right on top. Not used to seeing that. Nothing stands out around the top of my eye. I mean, I see some bicentennials, but nothing standing out. But there we go. One box up, one box down. Let me mark that box. Get the capsules. Oop, make a mess. I don't really have to do this, but they look better stacked this way. Boom. There we go. I'll catch you guys in the next one.